Frodo kept going. Harry stayed and fought. That's what made Harry Potter and the Lord of the Rings unforgettable. We didn't love them for magic or dragons. We loved them because they felt like us, tired, scared, still moving. These weren't just fantasy heroes, they were something real. Middle-earth and the Wizarding World offered two kinds of immersion. Tolkien's Middle-earth isn't just a backdrop, it is an ancient ecosystem, a place with its own languages, histories, calendars, and scars. You can feel the weight of time in its stone ruins and whispered legends. It is slow-burning, filled with depth you don't always see on screen. On the other side, Rowling's Wizarding World is layered differently. It's hidden beneath the ordinary, inside alleyways, under school staircases, behind newspaper headlines. It feels like something we could stumble into if we knew where to look. It makes the mundane magical. Where Tolkien transports us to, Rowling invites us in. Fantastic Beasts expanded that canvas. We moved from the classroom into cities, politics, and propaganda. Meanwhile, the Hobbit trilogy broadened its own scope, bridging the charm of a children's story with the stakes of an epic. Whether it succeeded fully is still debated, but it undeniably deepened the connection between past and future in Middle-earth. Magic works differently in each world. In Harry Potter, it's structured, learned in classrooms, regulated by law, and wielded with discipline. It's a skill, yes, but also a birthright, which creates tension. Who deserves power, and who decides? In Middle-earth, magic is ancient, inherited. Elves are magic. Gandalf is power wrapped in humility. He never shouts spells. His authority is elemental. Magic here isn't taught. It's inherited, lived, and often feared. But in both, the real focus isn't magic. It's power, and what it does to people. The One Ring tests Frodo, corrupts Boromir, nearly breaks Gollum. Horcruxes do the same to Harry. Grindelwald's rise feels eerily familiar. Fear-driven, seductive, and delivered with elegance. His vision of order cloaks itself in inevitability. In Harry Potter, blood purity is magical racism. The Ministry's propaganda and scapegoating reflect real authoritarian tactics. The Muggle-born Registration Commission is uncomfortably familiar. Meanwhile, Tolkien, who lived through World War I, filled The Lord of the Rings with quiet reflections on war, loss, and resilience. Saruman's machines destroying the trees of Isengard wasn't just plot, it was protest. These stories have stood the test of time and audiences still embrace them. Harry Potter changed fan culture altogether. Midnight book releases, fan fiction sites, entire online communities that raised a generation to value courage, curiosity, and rebellion. The Harry Potter Alliance turned fan energy into real-world activism. The community grew up alongside the story. By the time Fantastic Beasts launched, those same fans were adults, curious, invested, and unafraid to question the story's evolution. On the other hand, Tolkien's world had a following long before the films, but Peter Jackson's trilogy made it mainstream. Suddenly, Elvish was being studied in classrooms, New Zealand became a pilgrimage site, and extended editions became a sacred ritual. Both fandoms built something lasting, not just shared knowledge, but shared identity. It is also remarkable how these films came so close to being entirely different. Sean Connery turned down Gandalf because, as he said, he didn't understand the script, a decision that reportedly would have earned him nearly $500 million in back-end profits. Ian McKellen, who did play Gandalf, was later offered the role of Dumbledore after Richard Harris passed, but he declined. Harris had called him a dreadful actor, and McKellen didn't feel right stepping into his robes. Christopher Lee, who played Saruman, was the only cast member to have actually met Tolkien. A lifelong fan, he read the books every year, and even corrected Jackson on lore during filming. Meanwhile, in Prisoner of Azkaban, you can spot the name Newt Scamander on the Marauders map, years before he was ever meant to headline his own series. The Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter remain two of the most influential fantasy franchises of all time, expanding across books, films, games, and theme parks. They remind us that even in imagined worlds, the hardest thing to do is the most human. To be afraid, to be exhausted, and to keep going anyway.